Hey again, everyone, and welcome back to another Name in Progress vidcast slash podcast with Georgie and Baker. Today we've got one of our good friends, Asdrubal.
Hello.
So we've just, and I know it's been a little while since we've done one of these. Both of us, me and Baker, have been pretty tied up with work and family and all sorts of other things. So yeah, we just thought we'd come on and do another one of our podcast vidcasts. I think we should probably just take it off by saying I'm Georgie, Beards and Board Games, as always. I'm pretty sure all you know me. Baker, do you want to do your usual selling points and where you can find you and all your content?
Yeah, I'm Baker. I have the Board Online, Board Offline channel, and where we do all kinds of, we do unboxings, rules videos, gameplays, reviews, all that kind of stuff all over there.
Awesome.
And my name is Asdrubal, and I can be seen on the Dice Tower Network at Board Game Blender. I'm the retro board game guy. I just talk about old board games from the past.
Awesome. Baker, I believe you can be found on that little...
Yeah, I'm on Blender. Lately, I've only been going on the shows where I feel like I've got something specific to talk about, because I don't want to be shoehorning myself in by always bringing up Mansions of Madness.
And you've been like heavy on the Pandemic Legacy content just now as well, so you've been pretty packed out with doing that, right? So
yeah, we're how many games in are we? We're 9 games in now. I just put my 9th recap up on YouTube for that. So
how many games have you won?
We just went on a 4-game losing streak, so
Ooh.
I think
4.
I think we've won
4 or
games.
5.
Let's see. Yeah, we won 4 games. 4 games, and we've lost 5. Yeah.
Oof.
So would you say that the game is progressively getting harder?
Oh yeah. It's definitely getting harder. And if you don't, like, a lot of times you'll see things start to happen. If you don't contain those things, then it just it really affects what happens in future games. So, as far as the difficulty.
Awesome. Well, here, I think we're just maybe spoiling our little our next segment, what we usually go into. So I think, Asdrubal, do you want to take us off? You've been playing anything recently? I mean, when I say recently, I guess it's been a while since we've spoke to you on the channel. So have you been anything that stuck out to you since your our last little top 10 escapade?
Right. Besides playing a lot of Loop and Chewy.
Uh-oh.
Which my son, he has a blast with it. He really like it. I'm falling asleep while I'm playing, just to keep my eyes shut. But anyway, I've just been playing a lot of Dark Moon. It's that cooperative dice game.
I really want to play that game.
Right. It was formerly the BGG Express. Battlestar Galactica, BG Express. As many times, and I mentioned this on Blender's Best of the Month for October, as many times as we've played it, the uninfected people have yet to win. I still haven't won, or the group as a whole hasn't won. It seems to be skewed over to the infected people, where it's much easier for them to win, and I'm not sure why that is, but we're still trying to win. Just last weekend I played Relic Runners from Days of War, it's all fun game. It's a couple years old. Playing Colt Express quite often. They just came out with a new expansion, so I'm eager to get that. It's kind of grown a little stale.
I haven't seen that. What's in the expansion for that?
The expansion is a stagecoach. It actually adds a stagecoach to the game, and it just kind of goes on the long side of the train, and you can jump from the stagecoach to the train. It adds horses to the game, another strong box, and just a couple of rules. Doesn't really give it a really big any kind of rules changes, but just a tiny little bit more, which I think was needed for the game. And see, there's one more that I played this last week. I can't remember. Oh, I've been playing a lot of WWE Superstars, which is always a great time. A lot of people enjoy that. Yeah, even though, sorry, Georgie, go ahead.
No, I was going to say I've heard some pretty like mixed reviews about that one. Like I've heard people say it's almost like Snap, but then I don't know. What's it like for you?
It's good, and you really don't have to be a wrestling fan or know anything about wrestling to play the board game, which is cool because all the other wrestling board games were just a bunch of trivia games, and you really needed to watch the shows to really play the game. But this board game, you don't need any kind of knowledge of the wrestling world, and it's just a cool board game with cool combos that you can do, and just moving around a game board to get tactical position. It's a really, really enjoyable game, and every time I pulled it out, a lot of guys and girls have had a great time playing it.
Awesome. So you've been...
Yeah, the combat system in that is like elaborate rock, paper, scissors, right?
Right, hidden mechanic. You'll lay 3 face-down cards, and certain cards beat other cards, and you're just trying to get the upper hand on your opponent.
Yeah. Cool.
That's
one of those games that probably have come out with a package of wrestlers from my day when I used to watch wrestling, like with the NWO and all those guys, and then I might give it a shot. But,
wait, you're a WCW guy?
Well, I was during the NWO, but really I was more of a WWF guy back before it became WWE.
Okay.
They had Diesel and The Undertaker and Mankind, and
yeah, man.
One of the defining matches in my life was the Hell in the Cell between Mankind and Undertaker.
Undertaker. Oh man, nah, tell me about it.
Is that the one where Mankind accidentally falls through the cage and lands on the way down?
Yeah, where he's not supposed to, and the cage breaks and he falls through? Yeah, that one.
Epic. And he lands on the
Jim Ross's color commentary during that match is just amazing.
Oh, it's so epic. But
anyway, I'm sorry.
It's all right. It's about to be your turn anyway of what games you've been playing recently. But just before you do, EC Dub, by the way, all the way. But,
oh no, ECW, man, those guys were crazy back then. Those guys were doing some crazy stuff, and then they ended up getting bought out by WWE. So.
Yeah, that was kind of upsetting. I was all about EC Dub though. Yeah, that was my style. So.
Blue Meanie and all those guys, Sandman.
Sam. And obviously then like some of the more popular ones were making appearances as well. Sometimes like Goldberg and all these other guys were turning up, and it was that's when I kind of stopped watching it. I was like, nah, I'm out.
Well, I'll tell you what, Sandman had a bad influence on some of us because, being some buddies, we had a backyard fake wrestling league that we called. We called it EFW, Extremely Fake Wrestling, and we would actually record our matches and everything. But one guy came out and decided to try to do the whole. You know how Sandman would come out with a beer and would drink it and then smash it on his head?
Yeah.
Well, we had a guy. We were all in high school, so obviously none of us were drinking beer at the time. And we had a guy come out with a Coke, and he tried to do the whole smash it on his forehead thing. It didn't work out very well. Nobody tells you you have to crush the can in your hand while you're doing that. Otherwise, it
doesn't work.
Bust your head up.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
Either way, off the wrestling topic, because obviously we're big wrestling fanboys, so that might be another podcast for later. And what games have you been playing recently, Baker? Let me guess. Pandemic Legacy.
Pandemic Legacy is definitely the primary one, which is that Pandemic Legacy is a lot like being in an abusive relationship. I think it just beats you. It beats you down, and you keep coming back for more. But
wow.
That and Sushi Go, really the two I've been playing.
Okay.
Which anybody who's not familiar with.
Baker, Pandemic Legacy, how long does it take to play a game?
But it's about the same as regular Pandemic, 45 minutes to an hour. I will say that at the beginning of each month, you can play, the way it works is you have a month, and you go through 12 months, January through December, and when you play a month for the first time, usually that's when you have a bunch of the doors to open up and to where there's new stuff coming out that's going to change the way the game works and everything. So the setup for each month, the first time you play that month, might be a little bit longer just because you're figuring out the new rules, trying to understand how they work and everything. But for the most part, 45 minutes to an hour. The second time you play, it's never – there's like the second time you play a month, if you lose the first time, there's no additional rules or setup. You just go back and you try again. So yeah. I really like.
How many times can you play one month? Whether you
play 1 month.
If you lose,
2 tries.
You play the same month again. 2 tries, okay.
Yeah, 2 tries. So if the first time you play a month, if you win, then you move on to the next month. However, if you lose, then you try that month again. But if it was a second time, then you go ahead and move on to the next month anyway. And the incentive to win, though, is that there's a win bonus that you get if you beat a month. And so, for instance, I don't want to say what the win bonuses might be because that in and of itself would be a bit of a spoiler because they actually call them these cards that are like scratch-off ladder tickets. So, you scratch it off if you beat the month. And see
the Pandemic Legacy, so you go through the whole year, 12 games or however many games, and then, can you play it again, starting over, or what's the deal?
You definitely can't start brand new, that's for sure. But I think at the end of December, the way it's looking, most likely you'll be able to play the game in that current state. Like, you'll be able to play December over and over again. I think, however, the trick is, because with the cities, every time there's an outbreak, panic level rises. And the first time panic rises, the city becomes, and none of this is a spoiler, this is all out there, it's in the rule book, so it's not a spoiler. The first time a panic level rises in a city, the city just becomes unstable, and that doesn't really have an effect on anything. The second time, though, the city now is rioting, and it stays this way for the remainder of the game. It's rioting for the entire rest of the game, and what that means is if a city's rioting is you cannot build a research center in that city. And then the third time, it just continues to riot. The fourth time, the city's collapsing, which means it still has all the penalties for a rioting city, but on top of that, also, when a city's rioting, you can't fly into the city either. You can only move in from an adjacent city. Then when the city's collapsing, to move in from an adjacent city, you have to discard a player card of the color of the city you're going into. And the fifth time, it's fallen, and at that point, you have to discard 2 cards of that color to get into it. So it becomes increasingly difficult to deal with.
More difficult, like, as the game goes on.
Exactly. So,
evil.
So,
would you say that it's just Pandemic rules for the game?
You said, does it replace Pandemic?
No, is it just like rules and gameplay? Right, Pandemic.
Oh, the rules of gameplay?
Yeah.
Break it up a little bit.
Would you say that it's just like Pandemic rules? You play the game, or is it completely different?
No, the initial rules when you first start playing are very much like Pandemic. In fact, I say the first game is almost identical to Pandemic, other than it does give you an objective that you have to complete during that mission. But the initial rules are pretty much Pandemic, and then by the end of the first game, it's changed a little bit, and then every game after that, it changes a little bit more, and you get to a certain point, where it's very, very different what you're trying to do. I mean, obviously, some things remain the same, but it definitely has other things that have never been done in Pandemic before. So.
Awesome. So, anything else apart from Pandemic Legacy, or is that all your time?
Sushi Go. I've been playing Sushi Go a lot, which Yeah, for those of you who might not know what that is, it's a very, very simple card drafting game. Just has, well, you know what? Hold on. Let me. It's got these adorable sushis all over the cards. I think sushis, is that the proper plural for sushi? I don't know.
I don't know. I think it just might
anyway.
be.
Yeah, maybe it's just sushi. I don't think sushis is the word.
Yeah, no.
Whatever.
But all right, like.
Yeah, it's got this metal case, and but yeah, basically, it's just a card drafting and set collection game.
Okay.
And I mean, it plays super fast. It takes maybe 15 minutes to play an entire round because you do 3 rounds in a game, and man, once you know the rules, those rounds go real fast. Maybe 5 minutes per round, so probably about 15 minutes total. And this is something that my 8-year-old loves and my wife loves. You know what I mean? Like, so, and I mean, I love it too. But my point is that there's a wide range of people who will enjoy this game and be able to understand it and strategize.
How many players does it play?
The kiddo hasn't quite won yet, but she's come pretty close.
How many players does it play?
5.
Pretty cool.
So.
Well, I just, for me personally, I've been played Lord of the Rings Confrontation again. I've been playing Trains and Stations. I gave that a couple more tries. Asdrubal, still not feeling it, man.
Not feeling it, huh? I was just going to mention something about that.
Yeah.
What is it that you don't really quite like about it?
I don't know. It seems to, like... well, for one, it's got that annoying minimum 3-player mark, which can be annoying, like for a lot of people. For like taking that out of the equation completely, the whole it just seems really slow. Nothing seems to like surprise you as you're playing it, or like nothing seems to just come across as like, oh yes, like really awesome. Obviously, you got the dice rolling mechanic, but it gets old fast, I guess. Maybe I need to play it again.
Okay.
I don't know. I've played it 3 times. Maybe that's
each time, was it just with 3 players, or did you play with 4?
3 players each time.
Maybe try adding a 4th player.
Yeah, maybe that's what I do.
If you can find somebody, you know.
Oh, good luck around here. Whoa. So yeah, I've been playing that a couple of times. 7 Wonders Duel. I still can't stop playing it. It's awesome. It's a brilliant 2-player game.
I really want to play that game a lot.
Baker, it's amazing. Like, I'm going to go that far and just say it rocks so much. I'm loving it. But I just got this in the mail today from Games Lore. So that's the new edition of the out of print No Thanks.
I have never played that game.
Yeah, I have not played this either. However, I've heard awesome things, and yeah, I believe it was out of print for a while, so this is the new edition that's just came out. So yeah, I've got that to give it a try. Again, though, I realised minimum of 3 players. But, but it
really is. I don't know what it is, but I agree with you that the minimum 3-player thing annoys me a lot. I think it's because so often my wife is the person I'm going to be playing with. You know, like I've always got her to play with, and then I usually have maybe 2, maybe 3 times during the month I have multiple people to play with. So
yeah, that's kind of how that's
one reason why I haven't gotten Kingsburg yet is because it's minimum 3 players.
Yeah, and that game does look awesome too. But I mean, I've got quite a few minimum 3-player games. It's just a lot harder to get them out and get them to the table. But other than that, I've been playing. What else have I been playing? I have been playing quite a lot recently, I guess. Codenames. Played that again.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm still not digging that either, to be honest. I'm going through a bit of a negative streak with.
I can see that.
I'm just not. I don't know. There was something about it. It's just like everyone I was playing it with was like, "Oh, that was so great," and I'm just like, "Why did you not get it? Like, how did you not?" I said this. It doesn't mean that. I just end up getting really frustrated with it, and just no. There's something about it I'm not digging. However, I would be playing.
Have you played either like Mysterium or Dixit or any of those where it's a similar as far as multiple interpretations of what you're trying to say?
I love Dixit. Dixit's awesome. Like I can play Dixit until the dawn of time, especially with all the like expansions that's out and all the. Yeah, I could just play. I could play that forever. But
have you tried playing Concept?
no, I have not. I've heard about it though, and I watched the.
That's a good one. I bet, as a rule, that Concept would annoy the crap out of him. Actually, I haven't played it either, but just knowing how it works, it annoys me watching it. So.
There's no strategy. Like it needs. Like I think for me, I need to have something that at least has a little bit of like intense thinking, looking back and forth. Why like I've been loving Seven Wonders Duel. It's very thinky. It's quite like, I guess like quite an epic two-player game I would call it. But the other two, I guess the other two are a bit simple for the current mood of gameplay that I'm feeling at the moment. So yeah, that's pretty much all the games I've been playing at the moment. But I really look forward to this.
How long does Duel usually take you to play?
Half an hour, 45 minutes. Depends how often the cats jump on the table.
Right, yeah, that's all. That should be included in the gameplay time, I think.
Particularly when you've got to lay out that like awkward pyramid shape, and then the reverse pyramid shape, and then the weird circle shape, and then the cat jumps on, and that was great fun.
This is where geometry comes into play.
Just also last week I played King of New York, which is always a lot of fun.
I've still not played the New York version. I've just played the Tokyo version.
Yeah, I want to try that too. I haven't got a chance.
It adds a little bit more to the gameplay. It adds military troops, which is fun. Not only are the other monsters trying to destroy you, but now you got military targets that are trying to destroy you also. So it just adds a little bit more to the game, which I think was needed.
Awesome. I've heard about the military targets and things. It sounds interesting. So,
definitely, if you're a fan of King of Tokyo, you like King of New York. It's really cool.
I'm a fan of King of Tokyo. I just don't like playing it with. Well, I like playing it with my wife, but she just dominates it every time, and it's like literally.
You know what? My wife wins all the time too, and I think it's just the freaking lucky rolls that she gets, man.
Yeah, man, just threes all the time, like threes, and then she gets the victory. It always gets the card that says, "Oh, get 9 victory points or something if you roll 1, 2, 3, surge heart." And you're like, "Oh, there she goes. She's done it again. Boom, she wins in 3 turns." Just, come on. Like.
Have you considered the possibility that your wife is telekinetic?
Yes.
I mean, is she doing this? Is she doing that when she rolls the dice? Do you see her like manipulating them from afar?
She can be a sly devil, so probably. Sometimes.
Yeah, you should watch her hands because she might be like making them land a certain way with her telekinetic powers.
Her rolls are so brutal. I can't even look. I know it's going to be 3 threes all the time. So, and if anyone's in Tokyo that's about to die, it'll be 6 punches. So.
Sure.
Intense. So yeah, I think that's about it for games that I think we've all been playing. Unless there's anyone else got anything to add?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I played some Forbidden Island. I forgot to mention that one.
Okay. Do you win or lose?
We actually beat that on Elite, I think. Yeah, we beat it on the Elite level, so now we just have to beat it on Legendary.
It's impossible. Tried it. Tried it twice actually. So yeah. So other than that, yeah, I thought they would maybe move on to any Kickstarter projects that we'd be looking at that seem interesting. I thought that this would be a pretty interesting subject to add in. It doesn't just need to be Kickstarter. It could be Indiegogo or any of these other pre-order sites they'd like to be. Did I say pre-order site? Sorry, crowdfunding site that all these companies like to use.
Pre-order site.
So yeah, I think I'll start off by saying the one that really seems to be sticking out for me just now is the Banner Saga. Have any of you guys seen how this looks?
No, I'll tell you right now, I don't keep up with Kickstarter, so as you're telling us these, I'm going to be searching for it on Kickstarter, so
Okay.
or on BGG at least.
Well, I believe this one's the Banner Saga Warbands. If you search for that, Warbands, I think it's after it. But yeah, it's an awesome little. It's like a cooperative miniatures board game. It's got. It just seems to have like well. Here's the little write-up. It actually says deals with difficulties. Deal with difficulties and consequences of decision making. And when you look at all the characters seem really interesting. There's heaps of little minis. The map seems really cool. Everyone's got their little playboard to see. So it looks like a little beat 'em up game, and it's unlocking quite a few of its pledge goals. So it's I think it's over 120,000 now. So
those are some cool minis for sure.
Yeah.
It's 123,000.
I haven't seen.
There's a.
No, on you go.
iPad app for this, isn't there?
I think so. I heard there was.
Yeah, there's an iPad game based on this for sure.
Yeah. But that seems to be a current trend at the moment. Actually, there seems to be quite a few either games coming out that end up being iPad apps or iPad app games that are tested as the app first, that are then turned into actual games on Kickstarter or other things afterwards. Other than that, I think I would be a total fool not to mention the Arcadia Quest, the new one, which is making. How much is it made now? Actually, I'm going to check that. Hold on.
Man, Arcadia Quest is like. I mean, anytime Cool Mini or Not puts a game on Kickstarter, it's like they're saying, "Oh, you know what? We need a $500,000 loan. Give us money." And
no, it's not. Actually, it's not a loan. They never have to pay it back.
Yeah, exactly. It's in fact they are currently at 464,000, and it's Arcadia Quest Inferno is the name of it. Again, awesome minis.
I love the minis for that game. I haven't played either one yet.
It's
awesome.
It's a standalone as well, so you can get this one as.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's not an expansion. Yeah, it's a standalone. I think there's $100 pledge as well. Yeah, so you can still get the hell of a pledge for $100 pledge level. So
God, see that just. Oh, is that the minimum? That is.
That is the minimum. You could have got it for 90, but that's the early bird pledges. They always do that on Cool Mini or Not. I was not lucky enough to get in quick enough to get the early bird pledge for the others.
In fact, is that? Oh no, there are. No, that's the only pledge level.
Yeah, now it is. There was a $90 one, but that's the early bird.
I gotcha. Well, you know what? Yeah, you know what? Good for Cool Mini or Not. I like that. I like that it's like, here, everybody's going to get the same thing, $100, which is how much you'd pay for this game just about anyway.
Yep.
But by doing it this way, you get all the extra stuff too. That's kind of cool. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's only they've still got 20 days left, so it's probably going to go above 1 million, maybe, possibly. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not sure how much the last Arcadia Quest made actually. I know it's like still super popular, and I know the Dice Tower crew still, or certainly the Vassal Man, still sings it up quite a lot. So.
The original Arcadia Quest, $774,000.
Okay, so I'm thinking that the original one, this new one's maybe going to go above 1 million.
I mean, do you even need that much money to create a board game?
No, not at all. It's the amount of pre-sales that they make. So essentially, they'll sell as much as they want for the 30 days, 28 days, 30 days that it's up. And you'll like Kickstarter trend. So Kickstarter always goes 300,000. So for a Cool Mini or Not game, it's like 300,000 on the first week, and then progressively slows down. But when I say slow down, it'll probably still be at say 480 or 4. No, what did you say it was at just now? Nearly 450. So say it's going to be 460 probably by the end of today. And then as it gets into the last week, it just tanks it. No,
it's already 460. It's 464 it's already right 460. Now.
Oh, okay. So maybe it's going to be.
And we're 10 days in.
Right. Okay. So yeah, I'll probably hit 1 million. I would say.
So
The last one was
yeah,
like
if
7.
anybody who's not familiar with the minis in this game, that
I really
is
need to
what
check it out.
that is the awesomeness. This is definitely going to need to get my hands on. It's one of those things though where yeah, I've been trying to make sure that because my kid's old enough to start, she loves Forbidden Island now, right? She can actually
Yeah.
strategize. Same thing with Sushi Go. She's 8 years old, so I'm trying to make sure that most of the games I get right now are games that she can kind of play too. But she likes playing the games. It's just some of them are a little bit challenging for her because she's 8. And I'm hoping, because I got Abyss on the way, I'm hoping that she will be able to handle that one. So
I've never played Abyss, but I've heard that it's pretty simple mechanics.
It looks that way. I've been reading up on the rule book. It looks like something she probably could deal with.
Yeah. So that's cool, man, that you're getting her into all these games kind of early. So hopefully she'll be obsessed by the time she gets to early teens, and then you can start borrowing games.
That's the plan. Raise your kids right so you have constant board game partners.
Yeah, exactly. And also, like I was just saying, you can then borrow her games to review and play as opposed to anything else. So, yeah, works fine.
Yeah, on that note, I'm sorry. On that note, I started my daughter off about 7, 8 playing Pokemon the card game. We started playing board games, my older board games, some of the more simpler ones. But I tell you, man, she hit 12, 13 years old. Couldn't get her to play nothing after that. So I did enjoy those couple of years that I had with her, but after that, I was just being called a nerd after that, I guess.
Is that a word of warning for Baker? Or
maybe,
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm hoping. I'm hoping. Because if I can get, like Georgie said, if I can get her where she wants to buy them on her own, then I'd be like, hey, don't you want to spend your birthday money on Robinson Crusoe?
Oh, you bad man, Baker. Honestly, it's shocking. You should be buying her like girly things and all the teenage. You're like, oh.
Don't worry, believe me, she's got plenty of girly stuff too.
Okay, so has anybody else got any Kickstarter projects that they're interested in? Oh, by the way, I was going to say one thing, Baker. If you are looking to get an Arcadia Quest game, like I thought I heard you say, you may as well, if you can shell out, just shell out, because you get so much. You get so much.
No, I'm not gonna fund a Kickstarter. I'm not doing it. I won't do it.
Right. So right now, Arcadia Quest in the UK at my side, just standard, no expansions, nothing, is like £65. That's like $110. You get next to nothing in the box compared to what you get. Like, I mean, how much are you looking up just now? How much can you get? Arcadia Quest.
Yeah, I'm looking it up. Hold on. Arcadia Quest is on Amazon, $68. Nope,
how much?
We lost Asher Hall. Oh, there he is.
Oh.
He's back. $68 on Amazon.
$68. Okay.
Including shipping.
Okay, so that's dropped quite a bit. But at my side, maybe because it's a cool mini or not, maybe it's out of print a lot. But at my side, it's pretty rare to find a decent, like a cheap copy of it, even on Amazon, or it was. Maybe it's back in print now. But even for that, so that's $68 you're spending, right? Gets you nothing compared to what you get on that. What you will get on the Kickstarter.
I know that Arcadia Quest is one of these games that is really blinged out when you get it through Kickstarter.
Exactly. More tiles, more minions.
When is it supposed to? Like, how long does it take you to get it?
So probably if they're doing it now, it'll probably be March.
See, that's like I drop $100 and I don't, and then I don't see anything from it for 5 months.
Let me find out.
4 months.
I'm trying to find out if it actually says when they want it to be delivered by. Yeah. Okay, June. But it's not the
June.
First.
Yeah. No, I'm not. I'm not gonna drop $100 and then not see it until June.
How long did you pre-order Pandemic Legacy for?
Okay, you know what? That's a little bit different.
Oh, that was a touchy subject there, right?
Hold on, let me see. I can actually tell you exactly when.
See, I hear a lot of horror stories on Kickstarter that people go and fund these things and nothing happens for a long time.
Yeah. Well, I will say that if you're going to Kickstart, you need to do it with a company that's proven itself, such as with Cool Mini or not. Like with them, you're going to get what you order.
Well, there was one Kickstarter. D-Day Dice was actually a Kickstarter, and then they put another Kickstarter on along the lines of D-Day Dice, and a couple years later, people are still waiting for this game, this new D-Day Dice game to come out, and like they can't find the dude that even started the Kickstarter.
Yeah,
we're talking
heard about stuff like that.
We're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars just gone.
It can happen. It seems to be getting rarer and rarer, to be honest.
Well, recently there was some sort of court decision that made it clear that the people on Kickstarter who create these campaigns, they are legally obligated to complete the campaign. Like it'll be fraud if they don't. So, because I think that was, I forget where that was, but I remember seeing on Dice Tower News that got posted up where it was showing that, or maybe Tom was talking about it on Working Breakfast. Either way, where there are now court decisions coming around to make sure that these things, are completed, and if not, they're held accountable.
Yeah.
So, but I do agree that if I was ever going to kickstart something, it would have to be with a company that, like, the only two I can think of right now offhand would be Cool Mini or Not or Stonemaier Games. Those are the two that I would be willing to do it with.
Two good choices.
To answer your question, I pre-ordered Pandemic Legacy 2 months prior to it coming out. So
okay, I'll let you off then. It's a lot shorter. Look, I'm not going to rag on you too much. Baker, are you interested in any? I know you're saying you don't keep track of any of them. Did you have a look?
Well, I don't keep track for the most part. There was one game that recently, like I said, it's from Stonemaier Games, Scythe, or Sith. I don't know. I think it's Scythe is how they pronounced it.
Scythe.
It's set in the 1920s, but it's like an alternate universe 1920s, where after World War I, apparently everybody had mechs and stuff like that. It's like steam powered, kind of a steam. I don't think it's steampunk really, but steam powered mechs and stuff. And the game's set in Eastern Europe in the 1920s, and you're vying over land, and you've got these mechs, and there's a technology upgrade system, and you actually have to worry about food. So you've got farming land and stuff like that you're dealing with, and
feed the people.
Right, feed the people. Yeah, it looks incredible, and it made a ridiculous amount of money. Let me pull that up.
400,000, I think.
Yeah, I think it was like $1.4 million.
Yeah.
And it only needed like $35,000 to fund.
I know, but I mean that's like Jamie as well. He's like a super awesome dude, and I've spoken to him a few times like over Twitter and other things. Was it Facebook? I can't remember where I spoke to him, but he's an awesome guy. Like he will talk to anyone, and he will help anyone fund with their Kickstarter project, and he can pretty much tell you.
Yeah, he's got a whole section on his website dedicated to that.
Yeah, man, he's got like Kickstarter blogs. He does a blog. He also does like a vlog on like mechanics, like on YouTube. He also has a book, I think, like how to create a successful crowdfunding project. I think.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if it's out yet, but I think he was definitely planning one. And he has his treasure chests as well, like the Stonemaier Games chests as well. So they were. Have you seen those things?
Yeah, those are pretty cool. You can bring out your games with them.
Yeah, so he's like killing it, man. Like with all the stuff he's doing, and he's a super awesome guy. So can't really complain at that.
The one Kickstarter game that I've found in the last couple days is Pandemonium. It's a fantasy survival horror game.
I've seen this one, yeah.
Where they say that there's no zombies involved, so it's just other kind of creatures. They already have enough money to make it, and there's still like 29 more days to go. So that one looks semi-interesting.
Awesome. I mean, are you a big backer of Kickstarter projects? Or
I do not, because the one reason is because I want it now. You know, I give up money and I better have it in my hand. You know, I think that's a big hurdle for me.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Well, the box art for Pandemonium was pretty crazy.
I think that I would be able to convince you guys to at least back a Kickstarter project soon. Like,
that's become your mission, hasn't it?
Well, yeah, because it's fun, it's exciting, and I think everyone should at least have that buzz once. Like, it's so like, you know, when you're watching, like, especially when it first comes out. You know, like Arcadia Quest just now, you'd be watching it. You're watching it every day. Oh, have they unlocked this? Have they unlocked that? Oh, they've unlocked something else. It's totally exciting, and you get really enthralled by it. And especially if you got a couple on the go at the same time. Like, I'm not saying that I would ever do such a thing as back many Kickstarters at the same time, because that would be ridiculous. Obviously,
I will say
nuts.
But I will say one thing that I kind of lied. I did back a Kickstarter. It wasn't a board game Kickstarter. It was to save my town's only movie theater that they had.
okay.
They needed to get a digital projector because they weren't going to make film anymore, and it cost, I don't know, like, you know, $75,000. So I did donate some money. I did back that up, and it's pretty cool because at the movie theater right now, my name is on a plaque in their lobby. So every time I go to the movie theater, I go, yeah, there goes my name.
How sweet am I?
Exactly. I'm so cool.
Yeah, it's like one of those who's got two thumbs, his name's on the wall.
Yeah.
But yeah, Lear, that's a pretty awesome Kickstarter project. I mean, I don't just back board games. I backed something called Nerf Wars, which was where they wanted to create like a paintball, but with Nerf, like paintball. I don't know what to call it, like a war zone, but with Nerf guns. It didn't. I was very upset, but I thought that would have been awesome.
So it was a playing area that you could go with your Nerf guns. Is that what it was?
No, you could get Nerf guns from their like beasting ones, and yeah, sad. But I thought it was fun.
Don't they have something out in the market right now in toy stores that it's a Nerf gun, but they fire the little round balls? I think it just came out like 6 months ago, and it's called Nerf something.
Yeah, Nerf had. I saw a commercial. It's like high-powered Nerf guns.
Exactly, high-powered Nerf guns, where you better wear freaking goggles.
Yeah, but I want one like so badly. Oh, that sounds amazing.
Baker, look that up.
I'm consulting the book of knowledge right now.
Baker, you are constantly the book of knowledge guy. I kind of feel sorry for you, to be honest.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, I think that's probably it from our Kickstarter projects as well. We did have a topic, but to be honest, me and Baker actually spoke about this. The topic that we had was for like a Halloween, like just after Halloween episode that we've planned. So that shows you like how long we've been trying to. Like, me and Baker have been trying to get an episode together, but one of us has always been busy.
Yeah.
So I don't know if like we should still talk about horror games. To be honest, what do you guys think?
I mean, there's one I haven't brought up recently called Mansions of Madness. I don't know if you've heard of this one.
Oh, I don't think we've ever heard you speak about that game before, Baker. Like,
it's a pretty good game. I like it a lot.
No, so like horror. We were going to speak about horror games and be like, have you ever been scared by a board game? I'm going to come out and say no.
No, I've never been scared by one.
No way. Like, Azrael?
George, did you watch the Halloween episode of Blender?
I did.
Okay. Did you see my Hannah Montana bit?
That's a good point you make there, Azrael. That's a very good point.
But at the same time, Azrael, I feel like I've played enough zombie games and enough adventure games that I could whip out my Claymore and hack that Hannah Montana game in half. So, yeah.
You have a Claymore? Oh wait, no, you mean You mean sword, the Claymore sword.
Yes.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Believe it or not, I've actually played that Hannah Montana game.
Okay. Here, Baker. Did you know that I could do this? Asdrubal, try and say something. Oh, what's that, Asdrubal? Sorry, we can't hear you. You're breaking up. Yeah, you must be still trying to talk about the Hannah Montana game, Baker. So yeah.
Yeah. He's distracted by Hannah Montana game. I'm sure he's busy playing that.
Let's find out. Uh-oh, how do you unmute him?
How do you unmute?
It's kind of.
Oh, there we go.
Am I back on? Okay. Sorry.
Right. I apologize greatly because.
That I was gonna say that yes, it was a nightmare playing that game. It didn't give me a chance to finish.
Sorry.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, we kind of got a bit scared and just wanted to get. We didn't want to hear it, to be honest, as soon as you start talking about it. So yeah, Baker, your Mansions of Madness is like your horror game, right? You love that one.
Yeah, that's my favorite horror style game. Actually, as far as games that I have that I personally own, that's probably the only one. Well, Dead of Winter. I've got Dead of Winter. And to be perfectly honest, the world as it has developed in Pandemic Legacy is pretty horrific too at this point.
Yeah, okay, so I'll give you that.
My all-time favorite horror game is Betrayal at the House on the Hill.
I have not played that yet. I really want to play that game.
It's a great game. I've already played through all the scenarios, but you can just go back and play them again because when you draw room tiles, they always come up in a different order. The dice rolls will change a little bit of the game. So even if you've already played all the scenarios, it's still a fun game to go back and play again because it's always different. So it's really a really cool game, and the trader always changes too. So that's one of my all-time favorite horror style games. I also do play a lot of Elder Sign, which is a really cool game.
Yeah. I'm hopefully going to be playing Arkham Horror in the next couple of weeks, I think. So hopefully we'll get like a decent game in with that. And
see that you have to devote like 3-4 hours of time to that, man.
Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully it's going to rule. So hopefully we don't get eaten by Cthulhu or whoever, what other great old one we have to face. But yeah.
Georgie, have you played? Obviously, you played Arkham Horror. Have you played Eldritch Horror too?
No, I want to play it. It seems quicker though, right?
I wanted to see how you felt that stacked up to it.
Apparently, that's like an hour and a half version as opposed to the other.
Yeah,
like
and it's like global instead of just in Arkham.
Yeah.
Azrael, have you played either one of those?
I haven't, but I do own Mansions of Madness, and I've never played it.
It's a beast to get into. I had to use Rodney Smith's Watch It Plays to be able to learn to play that game. So
it's pretty heavy, to be honest. But it's come on, like you should never be turned off by the heaviness of a game or a rule book.
We've got a guest.
Oh, who we got?
Oh, somebody's awake.
Hello.
Say hey to that's Azrael and Georgie. And the rest of the internet. All right, hey, let me go figure this out real quick. I'll be right back.
Yeah, no problem, Baker. Let's go.
I was saying about the heaviness of Mansions of Madness. You're right. I mean, for gamers like you and myself, we could pretty much dive into it. But I usually play with a lot of non-gamers where I have to sit there and discuss every little rule.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And
like family,
it's a hard.
Okay.
Right. My family, my friends. It's a hard learning curve for most people. So I tend to stay on the more of the lighter side games. I'm not saying that I'm not opposed to playing a heavy game, because sometimes I do enjoy that, but it has to be where I'm not explaining the game.
Yeah.
Sometimes I get,
Yeah.
I miss something, and then people accuse me of, oh, you didn't remember that on purpose, or it's like, no, man, there's just so many rules in my head, I just forgot.
Well,
That is my least favorite part of being the rules explainer.
yeah, I mean that for me too. However, I always try and make a point of saying, and it always works, right? So if you just say, "This is the first time I've played it through, and this is the first time that I've taught it to anyone." So whatever you do, like this is the practice round, and then next round when I beat you, then you can complain. So that's how I always tend to go anyway. So it seems to work fine, and I don't always win.
Oh, hey, speaking of heavy games, I know this has nothing to do with horror or anything like that. Have y'all seen Mega Civilization?
Yes,
I saw it.
someone's trolley.
5 to 16 players, and it takes 6 to 12 hours.
Yeah, I did not think a game like that would ever be invented in 2015.
I
Who has
will
that
not
much?
buy that game. Yeah, I know. That's like you have to put that on your calendar 6 months out
Uh,
and plan an entire weekend around it.
yeah, I'm so not interested in that. Although, however, it was one of those games that I was like, should you get it just to hold on to it? Because like eventually that's going to be worth like loads of money because nobody's going to buy it, and like it's definitely not going to get reprinted, and then it's just going to be a 6 stone box sitting on your game shelf, just bending the shelf, just not being opened or used. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I really want to play it. I don't know that I can bring myself to spend money on it, except for like what you're saying, that out of all the games, because I'm not a collector. I like to I make sure that when I buy a game, I actually play it before I buy another game.
Yeah. Okay.
But that's one that I almost feel like I could make an exception for.
Yeah, I'd give you that. It's always better to. I mean, I don't always do it. I think for me personally, I've got 2 games now. Yeah, I've only got 2 games no, 3. Because I just got this. Yeah, so 3 games at the moment that I haven't played. So I'm gonna try and keep that to a minimum as much as I can.
Yeah, I have. That's one of my biggest problems. Is I'll buy a game, I'll read through the rules, and then it'll just literally sit there. I think I have 9 games right now that are still waiting to hit the table that haven't.
Hey, Azrael, and Georgie might not know this. Georgie, Azrael has a storage facility that he keeps a lot of his retro games in because there's just no room in his home.
Really?
Azrael, do you have any games in that storage facility that you have not played?
There is a ton of them that I have not played. Again, it's,
so you genuinely are a collector.
Right, we're talking about the games here at my house, which I'm getting ready to fill up my closet, where I have to start moving some stuff that I haven't played in a while over to the storage facility. But it's starting to get a little out of control.
For games, how many games have you got?
Retro, older board games, I have about 300. I stopped counting. And that's not even including the new stuff that I buy.
Okay, so 500-ish games?
I'm going to say somewhere around there. That's a pretty good number. Maybe a little less than 500. It's my collection is I mean, it's not as big as some other people's, but it's pretty out there. It's pretty out there, man.
Okay, so Baker, we know
I'm curious now how many games I've technically got. I keep track on BGG.
Yeah, I've got 65 or 70 currently in the collection. I think there's a few that I haven't added onto there because I'm not sure if they're staying in the collection or not yet, but yeah, about 65 or 70 I've got just now.
Yeah, I'm going to pull mine up real quick.
But I have quite a few pre-owned, so I have a few that like I had and never added, and I just get rid of because, usual.
According to this, do you know if they include expansions in the owned games?
Expansions.
I think
and,
they have their own
yeah.
section. I think.
Oh, here we go. 45.
You got 45 games over there?
That's what it's telling me. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, Baker's counting his games, so we're going to be here for like 3 hours because he's going to lose count, and then because it's early at his end.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's how many games I'm a fan of. Hold on.
Okay.
We trust him with this type of technology. To be honest, I didn't even mention a horror game, but the only horror game that I'm currently interested in playing, well, obviously I've got the Arkham Horror thing coming up soon, but I'm just stoked for the others. So bring on the others in February or March, whenever it gets here.
That looks awesome.
Yeah, come on, bring on the others, give me all the expansions, give me all the stretch goals, because I bought Kickstarter. So, yeah, that is going to be a hell of a box, and it's going to be about this size, and it's going to be full of minis, and it's just, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be crazy, and the game looks super fun too. So I'm looking forward to it.
Okay.
Can we talk for a minute about what a genius Eric Lang is? Because
we certainly can.
he's working on like 7 games right now.
Yeah, that's only the ones.
And I can barely even conceive of one game I'd like to make, much less make it good. And this guy's working on 7 games, and he doesn't do anything but make good games. You know what I mean? It just blows my mind.
He did make Trains and Stations, which I'm not a fan of. But I'm pretty sure every other game he played from was
Okay, he had an off day.
It was one of his first major releases, I think, because it was WizKids. However, Dice Masters rocks. This Others rocks. Blood Rage looks awesome. Actually, Blood Rage should be pretty soon. Is it this week? I think the official release to all retailers, Blood Rage, is out this week. So, yeah, I'm right. Awesome.
He's also making a remake of an older game, which I'm gonna showcase on Board Game Blender, called Siege at the Citadel. It's part of the Mutant Chronicles.
Oh, okay.
Tom Vassell, during the news a couple weeks back on Board Game Breakfast, Tom Vassell was talking about it, that he's online to redesign it. So that should be pretty exciting about that one.
Yeah.
Which one was that? What was the name of that one?
Siege at the Citadel. It's part of the Mutant Chronicles. It's an older board game from the 80s. Really fun game. In fact, during our episode of Blender that's titled Reprints, that's the one I'm going to showcase.
Cool.
Sounds interesting. So other than that, I think we'll probably wrap it up about now, and that's kicking on about 11. So, or 11 my side.
Oh wow, yeah, it is.
6 your side. Astroval 3.
3 o'clock.
3 o'clock. Okay. Other than that, I think that's about everything. So thanks again thanks Astroval for coming. Baker, I'm glad we managed to get another episode with that, and I think. Well, I'm going to give a bit of a spoiler for anyone that watches this, but us 3 are going to try and do another top 10 before Christmas as well. So hopefully we could get it out mid-December.
Yeah, we're looking to do the top 10 plus 1 stocking stuffers. So.
Yep. So another top 11, and yeah, we hope you all look forward to that. Other than that, I would like to say as well that this channel I'm not very good at saying this yet, but I'm getting used to it. This channel currently is sponsored by GamesLore, the UK's largest independent specialist games retailer, which can be found at gameslore.com. So thanks again for watching, guys, and catch everyone later.
See you, everybody.